Right before you met up with this Seiryo High teacher, a strange woman showed up with this photo.
Yeah, I couldn't get a good look at her. But it seems whatever threat she made worked. Sawa-sensei wouldn't say a thing after that.
Saw was the one who supervised Mikoshiba for his student teaching program.
I know that. So, this woman you're talking about must have had it in with the culprits. You know, they were working in a group.
That's quite a revelation. What makes you so sure about that?
Sakurai, show him the photo of the body. And spare me the protocol lecture. I'm sick of this going nowhere. If Hotshot here is gonna look into Ehara for us, we may as well take advantage of it.
You're the boss, Nabe-san.
Mikoshiba was last seen alive 2 months ago, October 7th, 6:30 a.m. He was talking to his mother as he exited their house back in the city. Since there were no other sightings of him, it's likely he was abducted a short ways from his home. This had to be done by vehicle, as common sense would tell us. So there must have been at least 2 suspects, a driver and a handler. If it were me, I'd have put 3 on the job.
So that's why you figured it was a group effort. Sounds logical to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, according to the autopsy report, they found food in the poor guy's stomach. Based on how digested it was, we can assume he was killed at least an hour after breakfast, putting it around 7:30. And not long after, he was brought here. His throat was slit with a knife. Get all that, Hotshot? What was our friend Ehara doing at that time? The old perv was walking through Ikebukuro's ticket gates around 7:43 a.m. This was stated in court and corroborated by multiple security tapes.
But if that's true, he couldn't possibly have killed Mikoshiba. It's 30 kilometers between here and Ikebukuro.
Yeah, that's the meat of his alibi. Yet somehow he knew Mikoshiba's body would be discovered 2 months after his arrest, despite being in custody the whole time. So there's no doubt he's connected to the killers. If we could just put the screws to him, he'd squeal. Damn it, HQ! Why the hell are we out here working the site if it's already been picked clean?
All right, Nabe-san. Deep breaths.
Yeah. But do you see why we've got to get someone in to talk to Ehara? Hell, beg Shirosaki-sensei for a visit if you have to. HQ can't say squat about his attorney visiting.
What you said raises some questions of my own, about the crime scene and the body.
Oh yeah? Ask away then.
How narrow is the window for Mikoshiba's estimated time of death?
Based on how digested his breakfast was, he was killed somewhere between 7:30 and noon on the morning of October 7th.
Pretty impressed you can narrow it down like that with a 2-month-old corpse.
Yeah, well, the window gets much bigger if we consider the possibility that the killers forced Mikoshiba to eat. At any point after the kidnapping, they could have made him eat a typical Mikoshiba family breakfast.
It's possible. All they had to do was make him say what he usually eats.
Good, we're on the same page. Now, if we take into account the decomposition of the body, Mikoshiba's estimated time of death actually ranges from 7:30 a.m. on October 7th all the way to the end of that month. So about 3 weeks.
3 weeks? That's a massive gap. Can't we narrow it down further?
The body's just too decomposed to do that. But expand the time frame all you want. Ehara was in custody through the whole thing, so he couldn't have done the deed.
Right. He spent 2 months behind bars. Hate to think a different crime got him such a strong alibi.
In any case, someone else killed Mikoshiba. And if we could just get in the same room as him, we'd know who that is.
What was the victim's cause of death? The news called it a massive hemorrhage.
Yep. They slit his throat and let him bleed to death. After tying him to a chair, the killer stood behind him. And lifting his chin with his left hand, his right hand slid the knife.
Sounds like you guys have that bit on lockdown, huh?
It's one of the few things we're sure of.
I noticed the burn marks on the floor in the shape of an arrow. What's with that?
Somebody lit flares here, the ones that shoot red smoke. It was only a matter of time before the fire department got called, and they're the ones who stumbled on the body. Pretty obvious the culprit set up a smoke signal to make sure the body got found. They probably had the timing all worked out with Ehara so he could predict the body's discovery from maximum impact. And that's exactly what he did, just as the judge handed down the sentence.
What would be the point of that, though?
For all I know, he just wanted to blow everyone's minds.
What shape was the body in when it was found?
Full of maggots and decomposing bad. His hands were zip-tied behind the chair, securing him in place. The cause of death was the throat wound, but before that, they really worked him over. Rough way for the guy to go.
Damn.
They even broke all his fingers. On both hands.
That sounds painful.
Fucked up, right? I'm guessing a professional did this. Could be Yakuza, could be Mafia. Take your pick. We've got some guys checking that angle out too, just to make sure there's no stone left unturned.
Doesn't this place have a manager? I'm sure it wasn't always like this.
There is a property owner. He's been around Ijincho forever, but the building's been deserted for 2 years. Apparently, there was a padlock to keep the homeless out, but it was long gone by the time they found the body. Broken by the killers, most likely.
Has the murder weapon been found?
No, there were no weapons at the scene. A real shame. That'd be some decisive evidence.
So when you said it was a knife, was that a guess based on analyzing the wound?
I wouldn't call it a guess. The coroner outright stated that the weapon was a sharp knife-like instrument.
I think I'm starting to get the picture here. That should be it for questions.
Tell me, you detectives out in Kamurocho always this hands-on?
Sorry, what?
I'm saying you guys work quick. We had barely set foot in Seiryu High, and you already had the run of the place. Hell, you even closed in on that Sawa sensei and got a meeting with her.
I was just lucky to have been there on another case.
Is that right? What? What's wrong?
Somebody's spying on us with binoculars.
No shit?
3 men, 30s probably. The one with binoculars is wearing a black jacket. My number's on my card!
Yagami!
Hey!